Thank you for tuning to the Black Fathers Initiative of Cleveland. Really appreciate the love. Make sure you guys click the link in the bio. Like, subscribe. You know what to do. You know what we do here. All black everything. Black love, black life, black wealth, black relationships. All black everything. So today I came across this bill. Looks like it's been introduced to the Senate. And it pretty much goes to show that they're trying to block reparations. Basically, this bill states that to prohibit the United States government from providing bailouts or other financial assistance to any state or local government that enacts any law providing reparations for slavery. So pretty much it's saying if you do anything to provide reparations for slavery, then the government is not going to help you with any financial assistance. That's crazy because I feel like the government is the one who should be giving out the fucking reparations. Like, what is this about? Like, the government shouldn't be trying to stop state and local people from giving out reparations. They should just be doing it they damn self. Like, the government is the one who, in my opinion, is the culprit of slavery and why why slavery happened. This country and the way this country was built, the government. So, but as you can see, we got to show this type of stuff. It's been 6 times that victims have received reparations, including 4 in the United States. So, of course, we have the Holocaust, which, everybody knows about that and the reparations. We had apartheid, and that was in South Africa. We had the Japanese internment camps, which was around World War II. Forced sterilization, the Tuskegee experiment, Rosewood, and these are just a few. These aren't all, because there's more times that this country has given out reparations for certain things, for shit that they did to people, period. So, it's crazy because with them pretty much taking all the, trying to take all the information out of the school books, well, out of the school, period, about slavery. I even seen something today. Let me see if I can find it right quick. In Florida, they just introduced another bill. Let me see if or another law. It might even be a bill. It might be a complete. I think it's a law. Let me see if I can find it. I'm quite sure I saved it today. Hold on. All right, so Florida just approved new Black History standards that include noting enslaved people develop skills that could be applied for their personal benefit. So that is what they're trying to push on our children about the history of this country. Pretty much, they're trying to make it seem like slavery never happened. Like slavery? What? Man, listen, that was just something that had to happen in order for this country to be great. No, I don't agree with that at all. I'm quite sure this country would have been great without slavery. Might have took a little bit longer, but I'm quite sure they would have got there without slavery. So I said it, so I just wanted to show it to you guys because this is a video. So let me go ahead and open it right quick. This was from a Judd Legum. Florida just approved new Black History standards that include noting enslaved people develop skills that could be applied for their personal benefit. It's funny that they would try to do a law like that because I don't think at that point in time slaves had any idea that they would ever be anything other than slaves. So what personal benefit are you talking about? Because as a slave, I wasn't able to go home. I wasn't able to leave the plantation and go to my family. No, my family lived on the plantation with me and they worked with me. Like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, this is crazy. This is nonsense. And it just goes to show that this country is getting, I don't want to say getting desperate, but there's definitely something going on. Definitely, because in my opinion, we've had all these things in our history books up to this point. So all of a sudden now, they want to try to block, history from being Black history from being taught. They're trying to block reparations from being given to black people. Like, what are they like? I don't understand what it's like. Well, it's always been a war on black people, but now it seems to be getting a lot more. I don't know, personal maybe. Maybe it's because it seems like they're like, yo, you black people are still, less than human. You guys still, you guys, we're going to take your history out of the schools. Period. Um, like they're trying to erase us. Like it's so many words, but we're not. They can't erase us because we're not going to go anywhere, and our history isn't going to go anywhere. But one thing that this is going to do for us is this definitely has to start bringing our communities together and making our communities more stronger. We need to start our own schools. We need to start our own facilities, our own companies, our own manufacturing companies. Like we have to start doing everything ourselves because as we see, not all, but a lot of these powerful people, white people, and these, in these political positions are really, really attacking, black people and, how black people live and how black people can be prosperous in this country. Like they're definitely attacking that. And I mean, even with them taking our history out of school, you can't say out of our schools because they're not our schools. But with them taking history out of schools, like I said, it just goes to show it's not even about education in school anymore. It's about going to school and learning how to be a worker and pretty much shutting up, go do your job, don't ask any questions, and just be a worker. And nobody wants to be that. Nobody wants to be just a worker. I don't think anybody goes to school thinking, when they're in school, I'm just going to go to work every day. Like I think people have bigger aspirations than that. And unfortunately, as they go to school and as school continues to dumb you down and turn you into a worker, that's unfortunately what we become, you know what I'm saying, because of the brainwashing that this country does to us through education. Because it's funny because I've seen something about why isn't financial literacy in schools? Why don't they teach financial literacy in schools? Well, if they taught financial literacy in school, then you would realize and recognize that working is not really a beneficial financial thing. That's why they don't teach financial literacy in school. Because if you learn financial literacy in school, then you would learn about, taxes. And that would probably be the first thing that would deter you from working a job. Because if you learned about financial literacy, you would learn that, okay, people who work jobs, you have to pay your taxes like this, and you have to pay your taxes every time you get paid, this, that, and this, that, and that. And people with businesses, well, their taxes are different. They don't have to pay taxes like that. They're not taxed on every dollar that they make when they go to work and every hour that they're at work. They're not taxed on that. It's other ways of making money and paying your taxes to where, you're not paying Uncle Sam the majority of your money when you get it. So financial literacy is not taught in school because if they did teach it in school, it would pretty much show people that working a job every day is not going to be, financially, it's not going to be your dream like you think it is. Even if you go to college and get a master's degree and everything else, you still may not be able to get a job in your field making the amount of money that you thought you would make once you got this degree. There's millions of people out there with master's degrees and PhDs who are unemployed or who are, doing their own thing, have their own businesses because, it's hard to find a job out there, especially for people of our culture. No sooner they see us, they already know if they want to hire us or not. They're starting to, let these discrimination laws go into play. Same thing with the LGBTQ. I think they just passed a law now that they can be discriminated against. So, like literally, there's a law stating that people can discriminate against you if they know you're gay. That's crazy. When we are just, we've been supposedly going through this time of, understanding and realizing that everybody is human and everybody has human rights, regardless of what your sexual orientation may be. You still have the rights because you're a human first. You're a human before you're anything else. But unfortunately, in this country, that's just not how they treat us. So, and when I say us, I mean black people, minorities, LGBTQ, stuff like that. So, appreciate the love. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Once again, make sure you guys, keep up on this stuff, man, because, this stuff is going to affect us and our children in the long run. And once again, I feel like, we need to start being more proactive. We need more Dr. Umars out there. We don't need more Jay-Z's. We need more Dame Dashes. We need more individuals that's talking about independence and building our own and establishing our own. Like, shout out Lil Boosie. I think one of the reasons why the police are all over him right now is because, he was talking about, building building apartments and stuff on his land and giving people housing and stuff like that. And, he said he started a little Vegas or something like that. But once again, I mean, those type of things, the government doesn't want us doing. But the government doesn't want us coming together and, and thinking. They don't want us coming together and trying to think and trying to make stuff happen, because we can do that. If we come together and we put our minds to it, then we can make stuff happen. But just like they did the Panthers and every other black organization in this country, they don't want that, because they already know once we get together and once we put our minds together and we start, doing things, that shit gets done. So, shout out YSL. I mean, I feel like and I'm not gonna say these guys weren't doing illegal things. No, don't get it twisted. But all these RICO cases and stuff like that, a lot of that, in my opinion, is really just about too many black people, too many black men, doing shit together. I mean, now don't get me wrong, some of that shit was illegal, but I'm quite sure some of that shit wasn't illegal. I know for a fact Thugger used to, give back to the community and help people out in the community and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure a lot of these black, organizations or labels or whatever that are catching these RICO charges, if you look at them, I'm going to keep it a buck. I doubt very seriously every single thing that they did was just illegal. I'm quite sure a lot of them were doing things to help the community. A lot of them were probably doing things, to try to keep them brothers and sisters off the streets and try to get them some education, trying to put facilities in the community so that for the kids and things of that nature. So, don't get it twisted. I see that they locking up, all these brothers on these RICO cases for, doing their thing or whatever. And, once again, if you out here killing people and stuff like that, then of course, you deserve to be in jail. But like I stated, a lot of times we come together and we make these organizations, and regardless if we doing right or wrong, they're definitely going to be looking at us because it's too many brothers together. It's too many black brothers. You got a business, you got money coming in. Oh, hell no, we got to see what's going on with that. We need to know. We need to make sure that you are not trying to, become the next Black Panthers. We got to make sure you're not trying to, do something to, empower black people. Like, no, hell no. Oh, what, you doing what? Oh, that's RICO. Too many of you niggas together. It's RICO. That's how I be looking at shit sometimes. Like I said, I'm not saying these guys ain't do nothing illegal, but I'm just saying, whenever the government sees a gang of brothers together with money trying to do some shit, oh, they're coming to see you. They're going to come see you. And one thing about this government, I hate to say it, and people, so many people are so naive, but the government can do what they want to do for real. Like, they can arrest you and not not give a shit, not have anything on you. They can just arrest you. They can just come and say, arrest that guy. Arrest him. And you'd be like, what did I do? Oh, you know what you did. And your ass would be sitting in that jail forever. Like, they do that. They have that type of power. There are a lot of people right now sitting in jail that don't know what the fuck they was in jail. They're in jail for. They're just like, what the fuck, guys? What are you doing? Oh, and he just walked past that nigga. Believe me, I know. I seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. So, believe me, like, the government, they do what the fuck they want to do when they want to do it. So that's why it's like, you can't believe everything you read, can't believe everything you hear. You just got to do the things that you need to do to be, successful. Do the things that you think you need to do to help your children and make sure that your children are successful and that they don't get caught up in this bullshit out here with these cops and with these ignorant ass police And just, that's all we can do as a community, is just stay out the way, but stay in the way. You know what I mean? Like, we got to stay up on these laws changing and stuff. And then when these things change, we have to realize if we can't change them ourselves, then we have to figure out a way to have our own establishments. So if I can't change this rule about black people, learning about black people being indigenous servants and all that dumb shit, then I need to build my own school and, start teaching for black people, for black kids, so that they can learn their black history and know that, and have some self-worth and some self-value. Because knowing your history and knowing self, your history and knowing self is definitely a big part of self-confidence and, being successful in this community. So appreciate the love, guys. Make sure you guys click the link in the bio, like, subscribe, you know what to do. Man, this is crazy. They definitely don't want black people getting reparations, and that's awful to me. Like, so much money in this country, you guys give trillions and trillions of dollars to other countries to help them, but in this country that we all live in every single day, you don't want to give anybody any reparations for the treacherous shit that you guys did to black people in this country. And before I go, I know a lot of people, the first thing that they say, and I get tired of hearing this shit, but the first thing that a lot of people say when it comes to reparations and slavery is you hear people say, slavery, that was everywhere. Slavery was everywhere. Slavery was in all the countries. Everybody had slaves. Black people had slaves, and just slavery was everywhere. So what makes this slavery so different? Or why you guys, so upset about the slavery you guys had to go through? Well, and this is actual fact. This is not my opinion, but this is actual fact. The slavery that went on in other countries back then was nothing compared to the slavery that went on here. America, the Caucasian, the white folks, they pretty much industrialized slavery. And I don't even want to say, I guess you could say industrialized slavery, because where in other countries, you were a slave because, maybe you broke a law or something, or you were born into poverty or something, and you worked as a slave for a certain amount of time, but then you got out of slavery. As well as there's plenty of stories talking about how slaves were treated in other countries and back then, and they weren't whipped consistently. They weren't put out in fields to work all day and things of that nature. That was what the Europeans did when they came to America. They took slavery to a whole different level. And that's really why I feel reparations, we deserve reparations for what the fuck you guys did with us. Now, I can see if it was the regular slavery that they did in other countries where, like I said, people was working off debts and shit like that. Motherfuckers wasn't building countries off of the backs of slaves. Okay? That was something that the Europeans did when they came to this country. So we pretty much we had the worst slavery there was. Now, I'm not saying other countries didn't have slavery, because I know Haiti had slavery. There's a lot of slavery in other different countries that was just as bad, if not worse, than ours. But what I do say is, when they came to America, they industrialized that shit, and they took pretty much slavery, like I said, to the next level, and made it a lot more advantageous for them, as well as made it fucked up for us. Okay? Because now, it's not like I said, it's not like regular slavery where we're like, oh, okay, well, we'll just come and work off a debt, and then you'll let us go, and we'll be cool, or, we'll come and be the slave, and we'll be all right. You're not going to beat us to death and, and breed us and rape our women and things of that nature. Nah. This slavery in America, that was a totally different type of slavery, okay? And that's why we deserve reparations for that bullshit. Period, point blank. For that shit that you guys did, we deserve reparations. If it wasn't for black people, if it wasn't for white people bringing us over here and making us slaves, this country would not be what it is today. Okay, period, point blank. Honestly, if they never did slavery, it would probably be a way better country than it is today. But unfortunately, you got the Neanderthals, and you got the, these people who, have just a mentality of, take, steal, don't want to work for shit. I mean, you call us lazy, and, these white motherfuckers literally went to another fucking country, stole people, and brought them over here to work. But we the lazy ones, though. But we lazy. Bitch, you don't get, there ain't no more lazier than that. That's the laziest shit ever. Fuck it. Instead of working here in the field and getting my motherfucking shit going, I'm going to take a trip to fucking Africa, get them niggas, bring them back here, and make them fucking work the fields. What the fuck? But y'all be the first ones to call black people fucking lazy. You motherfuckers is lazy ones. You motherfuckers are lazy as fuck. Okay? That's some of the laziest shit ever. You could have just used the same time you took to travel on the boat to go get the Africans to be working in your fucking field. Okay? But no, you lazy dumb motherfuckers. This shit, let me stop. Let me stop. I'm getting upset. Once again, appreciate the love. Thanks for stopping by. Peace. We lazy. Hey, mother.